two travel agents with an ocean-sized obsession for small ship cruising.
Get ready as we inspire you to sail beyond the brochure.
It's the ship less traveled.
Well, if you like being on the water, you found the right spot. This is the Ship Less Traveled, where we love to talk about small ship cruising. We're two travel agents from both sides of the pond, and we have an ocean-sized obsession with the subject. I'm Dave Wentworth.
And I'm Lorraine McCowatt.
We could write an encyclopedia when it comes to repositioning cruises, but I'm just hearing more clients asking about repositioning cruises. I'm seeing more reposition cruises. At least that's how it is here in Canada. What's it like in the UK? Are people into repositions?
Well, they are. I get asked that quite a lot, actually, the one-way cruises, because not everybody just wants to go around and around. They want to do something different. And this is where these repositioning cruises come in.
We know what we know, and oftentimes what we see in terms of itineraries or commercials, or if when you walk by your travel agency or go to your websites, you see itineraries that begin and end in the same port. And a reposition simply is defined as something that starts in port A and it goes to port B. And there's a number of reasons why that might happen. In the spring, for example, we see a lot of ships leave the Caribbean. They're done there, it's winter's done, and they're moving to Europe because that's where travelers are and that's where they need to be. And so that will open up the door for reposition cruises that are transatlantics. But like Lorraine, where do you think, like when you think reposition, what are some places that come to mind for you?
In the autumn, to take you back there and to other hot destinations, they go out to Australia for our winter months for their summer, to Asia, anywhere basically that people want to escape our lovely rainy weather we get over this side, to where it's going to be hot.
Absolutely. Even if you've done a land itinerary in Australia, you can benefit from doing a reposition cruise across the South Pacific. And what a fantastic way to see all of these islands and tropical cultures. There's just some of these places don't have flights from one island to the next. You can't build an itinerary, but a reposition cruise is going to drive through all of this geography, and so it can create the itinerary to get you to these places.
Absolutely. And a lot of these destinations aren't available on standard itineraries. So this is where a repositioning cruise really comes into its own. It takes you to places that you would not consider or may not know about. And that's really a fantastic idea for these cruises.
I would say to anybody that listens to their travel agent, tell them about a repositioning cruise. Often it's because I see something special in this reposition cruise, something that goes above and beyond what you can find on a typical itinerary. And a couple of years ago, it was HX Hurtigruten Expeditions was working on a repositioning cruise that went from Halifax to Boston. Now, that might not sound like much, but it went out to Sable Island, which, if you know anything about
Wow.
Canadian geography, you just can't visit this national park easily. And
Yeah.
so this repositioning cruise was able to get people out to Sable Island, and I was able to help some customers get out to Sable Island, experience that. And even though I would have loved to have gone with them, the next best thing was seeing those pictures of them out there. That touched my
Oh,
heart.
yeah. Oh, I bet definitely. These cruises, they really do offer some once in a lifetime experiences.
And I find that repositioning cruises are often offered with really great prices, solo cabin opportunities. There's really something for everybody who's flexible and can go. That is, if you like
Oh,
saving on your cruise.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. And, they're all inclusive. So the value is second to none anyway, regardless. But doing it this way, why fly over it all when you can cruise through it all? It's, in luxury and comfort and have everything there on your ship for
Mhm.
you. It's just the only way to travel really. And these itineraries are great from, anything from 10 to 21 nights. To be on a ship, this gives you some great downtime.
And so I think in terms of people that should go on these things, I mean, you need to be flexible to a degree because you're going to start on one end and end up at the other. And I think it's great for solo travelers, as we've identified. There's solo cabin waivers, there's special promos sometimes on repositioning cruises. But there are a few logistics that go into it, and I think that these can sometimes mystify people and lead them away from a repositioning cruise. But as a travel agent, I know I'm certainly able to assist with that. And one is the fact that you're going to typically need a one-way airfare or maybe a different type of airfare arrangement for a reposition cruise.
People are kind of confused about how they go about it. And for me, it's really simple to arrange that for people. And I have no qualms about arranging one-way air or an open door or booking a hotel on the other end so that you're ready for that cruise the next day.
When I'm working with people, I'm always begging, imploring people to consider flying in a couple days early, even if it's a
Oh,
destination that you've been before, because
it's
the
a
risk,
must.
yeah, the risks are the same whether you're coming to your repositioning cruise from UK, Canada. If you miss the embarkation, there may not be a port on day or two or three that you can just get bust or fly to and catch up with. So you really need to make sure you're there for the embarkation.
Who knows what's going to happen? Your flight could be delayed or cancelled. You may have to wait hours for another one. I'm not missing my first day. I'm
It's
not
so
missing
important.
my first day on board my ship.
Absolutely. And I think if you're planning, if it's a reposition, especially if it's a longer one, you got to get back to your regular life at the end for sure. If there's nothing there that you need to do, you can go to the airport and buzz off, but you really should be planning on putting that bumper in the front of your trip to make sure things go off without a hitch. Are there any repositioning cruises that you are looking at the moment?
There's one from I like it. I booked it recently for a client and I would love to go on it. It's from Miami across to Lisbon. But the highlight for me would be a stop en route in Bermuda, where I have been on a cruise actually, but I'm just dying to get back to Bermuda, and this cruise would give me that. To end in Portugal in Lisbon and maybe see a bit of Portugal as well on my way back. Why not?
Perfect. And Miami is a great starting spot. It's easy to get there. You can always get a flight to Miami, and you can always find things to do in Miami and Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Spend a night or two in Miami before I start. Is yeah, perfect cruise for me.
I follow somebody on social media who just came back from a really interesting repositioning cruise, and well, now it's on my list. And it goes from Cape Town to the Canary Islands, and it's actually available in two parts. You can book it from Cape Town to Accra in Ghana, or you can continue all the way around. And so for me, I love Africa, but that's a side of Africa, that coast of Africa. It's difficult to do a land itinerary there. The countries just don't necessarily connect or the infrastructure. And so this for me is a sensational way to do it in comfort. Of course, Cape Town's an easy city to reach, so the logistics start to work themselves out. And then I just sail up the coast and I get to add, I think I'd add like five or six new African countries to my count. And again, some countries that I just don't think I would be able to string up and do an itinerary otherwise.
Oh, yeah, that sounds amazing. And these repositioning cruises can do that for you.
And there's another one if you don't want to go up the coast of Africa that can take you from Cape Town also to the Canary Islands. But if with a few days of sea, you can have a day in St. Helena. I'm probably the world's number one expert for cruises to St. Helena. If you found your way to this video because of hashtag St. Helena, thank you. You're welcome. Well, if you're from St. Helena or wherever you're from, we would love to help you. But if you're from St. Helena, that's UK. So, Lorraine, how are they going to reach you?
You can reach me at bespokecruiseholidays.com/luxury cruise holidays. I'm on Facebook, the same address, Bespoke Cruise Holidays, all over social media, and here with Dave.
That's right. We co-coordinate the ship less traveled. And if you need to reach me, if you're in North America and you're looking to book a cruise, or if you have any questions, I'm based in Canada and would love to hear from you. Reach out on my website, destinationwhatever.com, where you can find all my contact information and links to my social media profiles. Thanks so much, everybody, for your support and helping us keep this ship rolling. We look forward to the next time. This has been an episode of The Ship Less Traveled. Bye for now.
Everyone, take care. Bye.
Curious about small ship cruising and ready to start planning? We're here to help plan your next voyage, whether you're a first-timer or a seasoned sailor.
If you're in the UK, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me at bespokecruiseholidays.com/luxurycruiseholidays or visit my agency's Facebook page. Let's plan something unforgettable.
I'm in Canada and cover North America. Visit my website, destinationwhatever.com, or connect with my agency on Facebook. Let's get you on board. Literally.
If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Click on those like and subscribe buttons and please share us with your cruise-loving friends. Support our channel and let's keep this ship sailing.
Thanks for coming on board. Until next time, this has been The Ship Less Traveled, where small ships lead to big adventures.